Hey guys, it's been a while since I've done a sprinkler video, and didn't expect to be making one this early in the year, but it is a abnormally warm day today. It is like 70 degrees or something, and it's only February, so I guess the one good thing about climate change is that I get to make videos of sprinklers earlier in the year now. Um, but anyways, this here, what you're looking at here is something that I've actually been working on getting for, oh, I want to say probably like 15 years now. This is what I call the Franken-Sprinkler. Now, it is a replica of a sprinkler that I originally remember my neighbor owning, one of my old neighbors at my old neighborhood, if you remember when I used to live there. This one was actually remade with different parts. The one that my neighbor had, he had this exact same setup. Now what this is the base is a Melnor Time-A-Matic. It's a vintage base. It's from, I want to say, like the late 80s maybe. I'm not entirely sure, but it's very old. It's definitely, they don't make these anymore. The head is not Melnor. The head is a Gardena. It's a Gardena model 502B, and the fun story about this one is that I always knew what the brand of the base was that my neighbor had, because I could read the Melnor Time-A-Matic thing on there. I never knew what the brand of the head on his was. I knew what it looked like and everything, I just could never figure out who made this head until probably like 2021 or 2020. I found a video uploaded by Photo Control, who had one of these Gardena heads actually on the original Gardena base, and at that point the mystery of the brand had been solved, but then I still had to find one, and that took another like 2 or 3 years, because they just never showed up on eBay. This one finally appeared on Facebook Marketplace. I got it with the original spike base, which I don't have right now with me. I'll go up and get that in a minute so you guys can see what it originally looked like, but I took the head off of the original Gardena spike base. This Melnor Time-A-Matic base I actually also got off of Facebook Marketplace from a different seller, and just the base, not a head. So it was perfect. I could just put the Gardena head on this, and yeah, this is exactly what my neighbor had, the Melnor Time-A-Matic base with the Gardena head. Now, I don't know how originally my neighbor's sprinkler came to be. Maybe he had a Melnor. His was originally Melnor, and he had a Gardena, and he just took the Gardena head off of the Gardena base and put it on this one. I really don't know. But I'm very glad that I was able to find both pieces and replicate this very important piece from my childhood. And this, of course, goes with the other two right here, which are also childhood sprinklers, the Melnor Taiwan, which you all remember. I made a video on this one a few years ago, and the Nelson Quickset turbo oscillator, which my next door neighbors, this was one next door neighbor, and this was the neighbor on the other side, and also this was the neighbors across the court from me as well, had a bunch of those. So now let's look at the dial here and look at some of the functions this base has. So you have, first of all, you have your continuous flow setting, which is basically just like it acts like a normal sprinkler, where it'll flow until you shut the water off at the hose. But it has a flow adjustment rate, so you can adjust it from low pressure to high pressure. Kind of like instead of running over to the hose valve, you instead can just adjust it from here on the base. And then after that, you'll hear there's a click, and it goes into what's this little like timer mode. It's like this ratcheting click noise, and you can only turn it clockwise. It can't go back counterclockwise. And it goes all the way from 2 to 16 with increments in between. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, and then there's the off position. And once it hits the off position, it goes back to continuous flow, and it'll turn both directions again. So I'm not exactly sure how this mechanism works. I haven't taken it apart or anything. It looks like it's held in by all these screws on the bottom here. I don't think I want to, because I don't want to mess anything up inside. But yeah, I think there's some sort of water motor in here that it drives, and that regulates the time. we'll give it a test in a minute and see if it actually is accurate. But first let's look at the head now as well. So this is the Gardena model 502 head. This one's actually 502B. I think 502B, as this was on the spike base. They also had the version that went with the garden sled base that Photo Control has is model 807. So they had different models clearly. And now it has the diffuser pin right here with the spring behind it. The distance flap here, it's a very cool adjustment for the distance flap. It's this little like gear knob here that turns those gear teeth in there, and it pivots on the diffuser screw. It's very cool. I really like that. I've always liked that design. I remember from when my neighbor had it. And then the reversing mechanism is on the back. The lever on the bottom there flips this lever at the top up and down, and when it's up it catches the portion of the counterweight there, and so that's how it reverses itself. Trip stops are right here, and yeah, to have it on part circle mode, you flip the little clip down and it goes in part circle mode. Now the Gardena label on the top, I don't remember my neighbor's having this label. His might have been missing because Photo Control's video, his is missing, so I don't know, I can't remember. And another thing, there's one difference between this model and the 807, the diffuser pin. Slight difference here. You notice mine has these two little wings on either end, these little tabs that protrude out, and if it would focus, here you go. The other one has it doesn't have these tabs, and there's a little slot. It's like basically a slotted screw made of plastic. Very interesting. I don't know what the purpose of that difference was. So, now I guess let's hook this thing up to water and watch it throw some water. Alright, I just hooked it up to the hose, and I actually turned it on. I have the Time-A-Matic dial set to off, so hopefully there's water flowing. I think. We'll see. So let's go ahead and turn it on. Oh, yep. Some more flow. Pressure, of course, isn't the greatest because we have a well and the well pump. But it seems to be working okay. At least enough so that it's working in both directions. Screw in that diffuser. Splashed all over the place here. That is the highest setting, right? So yeah, the water pressure here is certainly not helping, I don't think. But it works. I certainly remember my neighbor, he never had his on all the way either. So his was probably just a little bit. He was probably running his at just a little bit more pressure than this. But definitely just as I remember it. I wish I had more pressure here to show you guys, but it's the joy of living with well water. Someday we'll get a water line run down this street, hopefully. Alright, we're gonna try something. I just turned it off, and I set the timer to 1 minute. So we're gonna see if I turn it on here, will it shut off in 1 minute? This should be interesting. Of course, the wind is gonna blow everything around now. And the pressure actually seems to be getting better a little bit. See, I started at about like 9 minutes and 30 seconds or so in the video, so it should be stopping in just a few seconds. Oh, some air in the line. I wonder if the low pressure makes it run longer or something. No idea. So it's been going for a while, and I think my new theory is I don't have enough pressure to actually activate like the timer mechanism or whatever, unfortunately. Whatever. It's still a cool piece to have, and I can still use it with the continuous flow, because that actually gives me a good range of flow there, pressure. And I didn't even show you guys like the diffuser or the deflector here, but it comes down and it just adjusts that so it's not, it just kind of goes there down there into the stream of the water, and it lowers it. You can go all the way down to there. But of course I'll probably keep it like around there. Yeah, very handy little sprinkler to have. Very happy to have it after searching for all these years for this one. Yeah, let me shut it off with the dial. That is handy to have, actually, the shutting it off with the dial. And then one more thing before I sign off here. I did bring down right here the original spike base that Gardena head goes on. So this would go on here like that. And like I said, they also had a version with a sled base that there's a video of one of those on YouTube. But this one actually has this cool little like quick connect release feature where if you like stick it in the ground there and you pull this, it'll actually pop off like that. And then to put it back on, it's easy. You don't even have to pull that. You just stick it on like that. So yeah, if I didn't have the Melnor Time-A-Matic base, I'd definitely use that. Oh, and another thing, I got this Rainbird oscillating sprinkler along with the Gardena. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I don't really know anything about this. It looks like it's from like maybe the 90s. I don't know, I might sell it because I don't really have anything to do with it. I already have enough oscillators as it stands, you can tell. So yeah, I think that just about concludes this video of this very longer than I expected video of this very special sprinkler of mine, the Franken-Sprinkler, the Gardena 502 head on the Melnor Time-A-Matic base. So thank you guys so much for watching this video, and there will be much more to come.